Oh
wait. No, it's just a
God.
joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Okay. I mean, I've already started recordings. May as well.
Oh, we started? All right. So, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hotel Dropouts. I'm joined today by Dan and Jamie, and we will be continuing our conversation from last week. We left off at question 22, and we'll attempt to finish them by today's episode. If you like to support us, you can check us out on our Patreon or leave a like and a subscribe if you are that interested in listening to more. Should you have anything you would like to add or share with us, you are more than welcome to leave a comment down below. All right. So, how are you guys doing this week?
You sounded so sweet just now. Where did that come from?
What? What do you mean? What's that word? I don't even understand the meaning of that word.
Hello, everyone. Jamie keeps giving you underhanded compliments.
Mm.
No, but seriously though, what was that word you used? Sweetness?
No, sweet. I said you sounded very sweet.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Ah,
Like when you're
well,
trying to
I
read something.
gotta have my radio voice on.
The more episodes we do, the more radio we sound like. Can you imagine us in our 60s? We're just so comfortable in front of a microphone.
Hey, that would be fun. I
That'd be
mean,
nice.
I'd like to keep going
Imagine
on
doing
with
it for
this.
tens of years.
Why not? We will be the longest lasting
Hopefully.
podcast ever. Just be as popular as the Joe Rogan show.
We feed AI our conversations when we have enough, and then we'll ask it to generate more.
Oh, that's an idea. Yeah.
You know what we could try is, I don't know if this would work, but we could have like an AI voice, like an AI conversationalist. No, like just have another voice in here, and then we can type out something to make that AI voice speak. That would be
Yeah.
fun. We could pretend that's the fourth person. We can boost the amount of, give the impression that we have a lot more people in this podcast.
Or he could
Hmm.
be a really good interviewer.
Oh, that
We
could
just
be.
give him a prompt of keeping the conversation interesting.
That would be a fun episode as
we
well, right? Like we could have a conversation with an AI, and then the three of us could just choose what to say, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever the AI like says back, I'll just play it out with an audio.
we could also wild idea here. We could also just invite other people to be our guests.
Human guests are
Oh,
valuable. Human guests matter.
yes. But AI guests also matter. Hold on. I got an idea as well. I was thinking about this while taking a bath yesterday. What if, just for kicks and laughter, we do a drunk episode?
Oh boy.
That could be
We
funny.
start off
Yeah.
tipsy,
Yeah,
and we all have a strong drink, and I don't know, maybe a certain code word or something would make us have to take sips.
that sounds fun. I'll have my soju ready.
Oh, nice! I got honey Jack Daniels. I can mix that with the cocktail, and it's like a local cola, and and we can just see what horrendous unhinged stuff starts spewing from our drunken mind.
You know what would be funny is that if after we've all gotten drunk, Dan becomes the most talkative, and then the two of us become so quiet.
I don't think
that
so.
would be funny.
All right, should we continue then? We should get started. Question number 22. Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items.
Didn't we already do this though?
Yeah, it sounds
Or
familiar.
did we stop here?
I think we stopped here.
So I should
All right.
name 5 positive things about both of you.
No. We just do like in a cycle. So maybe I do you, you do Benny, Benny does me, and then we just do the
All
5
right.
times. So we'll start with
I agreed.
Compliment me now.
Jamie, I always think that you were so smart, too smart for the education we went through together. You like this. Your intelligence is something that I admired all the time. Okay, that's number one.
No,
You
no, no,
are
no. And
very
then, wait. Sorry. But first of all, thank you. And then I'll do Bernard, and then Bernard does you, and then like we continue this cycle 5 times.
I get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Benny has
Mhm.
always struck me as I think the most important positive trait about Bernard you is uh loyalty. There's something about like that loyalty that you have to the people that you love that is so admirable. Um and yeah, it's something that is
Can I
very
add?
rare nowadays.
Thank you.
Can I add to Bernard?
Yeah.
I've had a thought that a deeper thing that is the most positive thing about Bernard, and possibly where the loyalty also takes its roots, is that he has core. He has I don't know how to put it in one word, but um, maybe the word is integrity. But what I'm
Ah.
trying to say is that he goes through life. He has his principles, and I think they're very noble. If I'm using again the right word, for some
Mhm.
reason today I'm not sure about the words, but
No worries.
he's very noble, and he carries that through life, and uh, things that people might think about him doesn't steer him away from this. And I think that I think loyalty comes from that nobleness.
That's true. I
Um,
think the word should be principled. Like I think he has these principles in life that I don't think he can help but to stick to it. You know, it feels like if you ask Bernard to betray, let's say his team for X amount of money, even if it's a very lump sum of money, he would struggle to take that. He would be like, "No, I won't do this." That kind of feeling.
well, I think he wouldn't take it. I think even if they would threat him from the other end, like have a real threat, that would,
Oh yeah, yeah,
for
blackmail
example,
him.
kill Bernard, or he will betray his team. I bet he would choose the first one.
That's true. Yes.
Then you guys don't really know me. No, no, I'm joking. It just feels a little weird. I'm thankful for this, but it does feel a little weird being
Bernard is
praised,
blushing.
showered with compliments. I am. Thank you.
Okay, your turn,
I
Bernard.
appreciate the both of you. Right. Anyway, then I think I really respect your dedication. Um, there's a lot of things I can say, but if I have to choose one, I respect your ability to be able to uh, self analyze. A lot of people, I would say, don't want to and find it very hard to do that. And even if it even if it's hard, you do it and you try to improve yourself and try to find what's at fault with yourself, how you can improve, and that takes a lot of emotional and mental effort. And I really, really respect you for doing that. And you not only start the process, but you go through with it. You try to better yourself in every way, and it's not an easy process. It's a process that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but you power through it, and that's respectable. And I really
Oh,
respect you for that.
Aw.
thank
Uh,
you,
I'll
thank you.
add something as well. I think we could just do one. Like, this is gonna feel so corny. We just continue to
I
compliment each
know,
other,
right? It
right?
feels like
Yeah.
it feels like a circle jerk of like, oh, you're
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
cool. Oh, you're so cool. I
Yeah.
feel a bit
I
pretentious
I
even.
agree. Let's do just one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
feel a
So,
bit of an imposter syndrome
No,
creeping
no,
in.
you can do one, but do five for me. No, no.
okay. I'll be the last one. I'll just say that.
But then I want to add something for Jamie then, because
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me say something about our sweet Dan.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I guess I've never told Dan this, but there's just something about him that's for me, like, he's when I see him, I see an anchor. He's kind of like the social anchor, and just the beacon of stability in a way. You're not saying that, not saying that he doesn't face any hardships or flinch or have down times, but I just feel it feels like he has this ability to get back up, and just keep going. And sometimes that's something that I'm really jealous of, because I am somebody who, if I get beaten down, it takes me a long time to get back up. Like, I would have such a long rut. Sometimes I would just be in a rut for months on end, and just beating myself down. And whereas
If
I
I
feel
can
like,
just stop you for a bit, I just want you to know that that's okay too, Jamie. You shouldn't be too hard on yourself just because you need some time.
yeah, okay, well, anyway, that's one way that I wish I could be more like Dan.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know. I seemed like that from a side.
I
I
mean, I'm
mean,
sure a lot of people feel this way about you.
But
I
I
don't.
don't know.
I see Dan as an insecure.
Wishy-washy.
Floaty.
Never satisfied. No, no, of course not.
I
I'm
see
just
Dan as an
joking.
anchor. He's dragging down the whole society.
Drags all of us down.
Everyone around him just kind of stops in their development.
Oh man.
No, no, no. But yeah, no. I'm serious though, Jamie. He, we all. I'm sure Dan has his moments of insecurity too, and it's okay if you need some time for yourself. Everybody's different, man.
Yeah,
You don't
I
have to
guess
put
so.
yourself to. You shouldn't have to compare yourself to anybody else. You should. The only person you should compare yourself to is the you in the past. Were you better than that person? Did you grow? Were you stronger mentally, physically, emotionally?
Are you
As
punctuating
long as
everything
you
you
were
said?
better. What?
He does.
Yes, I like that.
I punch what?
No, you're punctuating with like a pounce on the table, and it was very rhythmic for a while.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I did. I did tap the table a little bit, but I didn't realize it would have been picked up.
All right.
Um, but yeah, as long as I was getting into my I have a dream. Start bouncing the table. Um, no, but as long as you were better than you were before in the past, that's the only person you need to compare yourself to,
Mm,
not anybody else. All right.
yeah, it's like that.
And to add to you, Jamie,
Oh,
what I really like and respect about you is that no matter how tough the situation is, and even if you do allow yourself to be upset, and even if you do allow yourself to vent to us every once in a while, you never gave up. No, you're not. You're always in a okay, maybe not always, but you have found yourself in really shitty situations, be it economically, be it emotionally, be it financially. Oh wait, financially is economically, but like just your circumstances have been hard, and you shouldn't discount that. And no matter what happened, though, you always don't give up. Yeah, sure, it's fair to let yourself feel like shit every once in a while. It's fair to feel down and vent, and that's okay. I think that's healthy too. But after all those things, you proceed. You don't just give up. You don't just let yourself rot in the dirt.
did you
You
say?
pick yourself up.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think you meant to say persevere, but then I thought you said you pussy. I was like, what? Why would you insult me?
Really?
All right, you
No,
persevere.
did I say that?
No, I think you were trying to say persevere, and then you thought of perceive, and then it sounded like
Then you
pussy.
thought, then you thought about pussy.
Did
I,
I? Oh, I don't think those words both either of those words crossed my mind.
it's the ultra alpha
I,
male mindset. You think about pussy mid complimenting your bro just to make it less gay.
no.
Thank you. Oh, thanks. But yeah, gotta keep going, right?
No, thank you for not giving up on yourself
Oh, digital hugs sending out. All right. Okay.
to
Next
all of you.
question. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? Hmm.
I think that for me, I had a rough relationship with my father, but the rest of the family was really warm. And I'm happy about my childhood. Actually, the most happy I am is about my teenage years. At that time, as I was becoming a teenager, we moved, and because of that, my circle of friends changed, and I'm still hanging out and friends with the people I met at that time.
Hmm. What happened with your dad?
If you want to talk about it,
If
if you
you're
don't want to talk
comfortable,
about
then.
it, we don't have to. If you're
For some
willing
reason,
to
I
talk
want
about
to
it.
be like only on a very high level, but basically, uh, my father had a little bit of a temper issue, and also because of work, he wasn't at home that much.
No.
So I don't know. Maybe this is why.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Are we secret brothers? It sounds like we have the same dad. So yeah, I guess for me it's pretty much the same. My father was not really around. He was very self-centered. He took care of the family. But I have always kind of course always kind of been envious of how like Western families or have this kind of like the physical expression of love between family, but whilst that's not much so in Asia. Your mom doesn't say I love you. Pretty much you don't say I love you to your parents as well. Instead you kind of show love by being there and eating something together. um but my father was pretty much always away and very quick to anger. Uh, One thing I remember the most was him bashing me into the wall because I was crying
Jeez.
about. I was 15 and I was just like, oh, I really wanted to go to Australia to study because I was sick and tired of all the family fighting because him and my mum used to fight a lot. But nonetheless, I still feel like I had a really happy childhood because I had MMORPGs to thank. I made so many friends online. Um, we would go from one MMOs to another, and we would have parties. We would go out with these internet friends, and I just remember that I've always been involved with a weird bunch of people. As a teenager, I was 14 or 15 years old, and I was hanging out with people that are like 32, 34, and sometimes 8 or 9 years old. That's how pervasive MMORPGs were back in the day. Um, but yeah, so I have computer games like video games to thank for a really happy childhood.
I
Benny?
would say video games were for me more an escape from my reality. I wouldn't say it was horrible or anything like that. It was all right. Um, my dad, also due to his work, was often away for 8 months in a go, and then he will be back for like 4 months to spend time with us while he's having his break from his work. Uh, I used to be bullied a lot because I was really skinny and I was a foreigner. I was very obviously a foreigner in the environment where I was in. And it wasn't all bad, but how do I say it? It was all right. The relationship between me and my family as a child, I'd help my mother with the chores a lot. I think I didn't understand how difficult it was for her. Of course, I was more um, ignorant, I would say, of all the struggles around me. I
Oh,
was
you we
more,
were kids.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And for all the things, all in all, it was okay. Like it wasn't. I think if I think about it on the average, I think I still did a lot better than a lot of other people. Like neither of my parents were abusive. I was an asshole kid, so I got and we were in Southeast Asia, so sometimes I got the whip, I got the nay nay.
That really
But
shows our age. Oh my god.
I don't know why that cracked me up so much.
You know that other
It's,
Singlish, the famous viral. There was a white kid who spoke English with a very heavy Singaporean accent. I
yes, yes, yes. I
I
remember
wondered
that
if
kid.
he
Yeah.
struggled even more than you, because he's kind of like almost completely white.
It depends on what school he goes to, right? I
Mm.
went to a public school. Maybe if he went to
Oh, like a private
like a
one.
private school, maybe he gets a different experience. But yeah, the relationship with my parents,
Mhm.
I would say it was good. We used to have all this like every week, at the end of the week we would have like a family debriefing where we talked about how our weeks were and stuff. I didn't understood it as a child. Like as a child I thought it was a chore. As I grew older I learned to appreciate it. Unfortunately, there was a point in my life where I decided to break contact with them completely for about a year, and then thanks to the efforts of my sister we reconnected. um, and I would say it's healed since then. And while I'm not as in contact with them as often as I was in the past, I think the quality has been better.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is, how do you feel about your relationship with your mother? And this is from me. Let's keep it very short. So like think about the kind of like ideally like a one word answer. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Me, honestly, hmm, I feel like gosh, this is a tough one. It's Mother's Day
Can
is
I
coming
do
up.
it?
Yeah, you do it.
All right. I don't have one word. I have three words.
Uh-huh.
Um, care and respect.
Mm.
It kind
Okay.
of ties into my previous reply where I didn't understand the struggles she went through,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding it now, I respect her for it and I care for her. I mean, I love her. That's why I care for her.
Mm. For me, I feel like my relationship with my mom is lukewarm. Uh, Everything's fine. She a lot of times she would try if there's something she wants to say to me, she'd often go to my neighbor to tell my neighbor's mom, and then my neighbor's mom would tell
Um,
my neighbor who happens to be a friend who grew up with me, so we're very close because we're the same age, and then we've known each other since 2 years old. And then so I would get whatever my mom wants to tell me from my friend, this neighbor who is now in the Netherlands. And so whenever she wants to say something, it would go through this big circle. And I don't know why. Like this is the same thing with my other family members. There's something about them
Huh.
that they feel like they don't they can't talk to me.
is it because they are afraid of confrontation?
I don't I'm the least confrontational person ever. Um
Yeah, but Asians have a way of being indirect.
that's
You
true.
know,
Yeah, that could
it's
be.
it's in their culture to be indirect, to be um, subversive,
Yeah.
and maybe they also feel like you might not listen if it's coming from them, so they try to get somebody who they think you respect
Yeah, that's
to give you the
precisely it. Yeah,
message
that's what
instead.
I
Yeah.
think. Right, Dan?
My relationship with my mother is very good. I'm really thankful for all she did, everything she did
Oh.
throughout my life. As I mentioned before, my father was also like yours, Jamie. I feel had some temper issues, and my mother was always kind of this buffer between me and my father. And I actually learned that only much later on in life. Uh, so yeah, and you know what? Another thing I really appreciate is my mother is actually uh, very young because she had me when she was 18,
Oh,
and
wow.
because of that, we don't have that much of generational gap, I guess. But like for example, if you're having dinner together, we can talk and be on the same page more or less.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. All right. Right. Next question then. Make 3 true we statements for each. So, for instance, we are both in this room feeling dot 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 something something something.
We are
Hmm.
all in this moment making a podcast.
uh
Does that count?
yeah.
We are all using a digital device. No, I don't.
We are all men.
Says you. Right. We are all hmm, I don't want to say struggling, but I think but we're all fighting, I think. Fighting on.
Yeah, we are all somewhat developing and looking for our path in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was always saying that. I was thinking, is Bernard looking for his path in life, or he
Of
already found
course.
his path?
I feel like
No.
he's found a temporary one. But very soon he'll have to confront another fork
Mm-hmm.
in the path. Um right. How okay. Complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share dot dot dot.
Wait. You didn't say anything, Jamie.
Huh? I did. I said we were all like not struggling but fighting.
Oh, but I thought we all had to say 3.
No, I think each one of us can just say one.
Yeah.
Okay, then did my answer count, even though it was kind of jokey?
I guess so. I mean, you said we were all men. I guess
I mean,
this
if you want to
question
say something
I
else, you
meant,
can. I get what you're saying, Bernard.
ah
yeah.
like
Okay, well, in that case, I think I want to say we are all facing, we are all carrying our own luggages, but we don't let it bring us down. And we know that if we need help, some support to lift that luggage, we can always reach out to each other.
oh yes. Right. Complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share dot dot dot. Um I guess I could go first. I wish I had someone with whom I could share my struggle. Like share the
Mm.
experience of struggling. And I'm not asking for someone to take on my struggle, but like someone to
Yeah,
struggle with me, kind of.
yeah.
Like with all the nuance.
Right.
Hmm.
What do you think? I think the
Like
question is trying to probe that, it's kind of like asking it's kind of like a better version of what do you look for in a relationship,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's asking you to share it, but be vulnerable.
Mm.
Oof, I don't have to wish because my partner has been pretty fulfilling to what I'm looking for. But I do wish that she's physically with me right now because
So,
I miss
what
giving
your
her a
answer is
hug.
basically, then I wish to share like someone you could share like a physical contact with.
No, I don't wish for that because like I do get that, but right now it's just the distance that's between us.
I think this question is more macro. It's kind of like, what kind of stuff do you what kind of yeah, what kind of thing do you want to share with your partner? Like I guess it's kind of like, oh, if you have a partner, um
I get it. I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
Some people would say like
But it's
maybe
being
joy.
satisfied. So I don't have to wish for it because it's already being satisfied.
Well, then just say it, even though
Oh,
it's
oh, you know
flexing.
what? You know what? Actually, I do have one.
Mm.
Um, I wish we can be more open about our insecurities and not have to fear sharing them with each other.
Mm.
And there would be no, like, just to elaborate a little bit, that there will be no expectation of that there will be no subtle expectations, like it's not a cry for help, that we can just share it for
Mhm.
the sake of sharing without like expecting anything or having any additional pressure or subtle call for help or anything like that, just to share,
Mhm. Dan?
just to share and be heard.
I
Yeah.
I wish I would have someone to share with some of my passions in life.
Mm.
I don't. I have some of my passions already shared, but there's a couple that I wish I had someone that was more on the same page.
Mm.
Like, like modding stuff?
No, mostly things related to construction, interior design, and even furniture.
Ah. Oh,
Mm.
wow. Can you imagine? You can get your wife in as an interior designer, and then she can be like the typical uh high strung, like really really bitchy vibe, kind of like as one of those.
Is that how you view interior designers?
Yes, because I've met some of them. Oh my goodness, the best ones are gay and are gay men, and they're the best interior designers, but the worst designers to work with. They'll give you something really
There's
good, but
some kind
it's
of bias going on there. The
maybe
best
yeah,
people are
no,
gay men
it's my
like me.
no, it's my pent up anger. It's just as a gay, I don't share some of their artistic, like I feel like my artistic vision isn't with fashion or interior design. It's something else. All right.
Artistic or autistic?
Oh man. Um
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
okay. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would
Mm.
be important for them to know.
You would be a close friend with my partner. Hmm.
Like a very
What
close
would it be?
Wait, is this asking like if you guys have broken up,
Y-
but then now you've become close
Yeah,
friends?
is it
I
asking
would
me
not
to
be
tell
friends with
your
somebody
red
I've
flag or
broken.
something? Is
And
it
No,
is it
I
asking
think
us to tell our red flag or something?
no, I think yeah, it could be a red flag or it could be something else, like something you need. I think the question is
I think this
hypothetically,
is like, what's your non-negotiable? I guess.
yeah, and
Ah,
I think the question is kind of approaching this hypothetical that let's say your partner is no longer your partner. Let's say you guys have started anew, and it doesn't even matter the gender. Like you just be like, okay, now this is a person you want to be a close friend with. Then what do you want them
Well,
to know?
I don't do that though. I don't do that. I don't keep in touch with people I broke
No, 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 no. Like
up
I'm
with.
not saying you would break up. I'm saying just imagine your partner is now going to be someone you want to be close friends with. And just take the romance out of it for a moment. You just pretend that you just
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to have anything to do with them once the romance is taken out of it.
oh.
It's not And I don't mean it as in like a transactional way where um
Yeah, I
No more
oh,
love,
understand. I
you're
no
mean
more
not
that
Bernard.
giving me yeah, it's like oh, you're not giving me what I want anymore, so I'm gonna cut you out. I don't mean it like that. I
Mhm.
just mean it like if you already had something together,
Yeah,
there's no way you can just be friends,
that's
because
true.
if that's the case, then what you had between you was not real for either parties,
Mhm.
or one of the party members in between this context of this relationship is lying to themselves that they are okay, because one of them maybe would like to get back together and
Mhm.
are hoping for a moment of weakness or something to jump back in,
Yeah.
or you're just not being able to let go. But
Facts.
if you had something between you,
Yeah.
it's for me, I don't I can't, because
Huh.
I mean, what's the
Mhm.
point? What's the point?
I suppose this question is kind of weird. I guess right. Well, I'll
I
just
feel
I'll say red
but
flags
that's
then.
my perspective anyway, but you guys can share.
All right. Dan, you want to go?
Nothing comes to my mind like what to share. I don't
Mhm.
quite get the question. Is it a red flag or something? I guess maybe the first thing that came to my mind was this feels like very specific, and I don't think I would actually share that. But let's just say it for the question. I learned about myself that apparently I think I'm an extrovert in the meaning that I gain energy from being around people,
Mhm.
and I really need that. And me and my partner, we found out that she is an introvert, and so for us, at times that felt like a conflict point because sometimes I would be like, I would really want to hang out with friends,
Mhm.
and at the beginning, my partner she would think that it's like I don't want to hang out with her, but then over
Uh-huh.
time, we understood that it's just that I really need it because without it, I kind of feel bad. I don't feel really happy if I can't be around people for a long time.
Mhm.
Uh, and for her, it's actually taking energy from her. She still likes it. I mean, but
Hmm.
if we
It's
had a
exhausting.
nice event with our friends, then she would want to go home and rest from it, while I would easily want to, after that go to my friend's place and continue to hang
The
out
after
there.
party.
You want to
Yeah.
Yeah,
party? Yes,
not
partying.
not not party, but just hanging out. You could have a nice lunch at a place that just opened,
Uh-huh.
and then after that we could go to the friend's apartment and
That
I
sounds
don't know,
pretty
watch a movie or
reasonable.
something.
I wouldn't even say that's uh particularly like extra on the social level. Isn't that what we just do? You know.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like yeah, it's been nice, but now
Mhm.
I want some me time.
Ah, okay.
And I have that as well, but the level when that happens is different from us, for both
Mm-mm.
of us. That's where it
Mm.
like the confusion and some of the initial conflict came.
That's so interesting because for me, I've always identified as an introvert until I realized because yeah, like your wife, I feel that whenever I hang out with people, I my energy gets sucked away. But in a way, I enjoy being sucked. So yeah, like because every time I hang out with
Full
people,
pun
yes,
intended.
I every time I hang out with people, yes, I do get tired and I do feel like oh, I just want to be alone, watching some Netflix or just be in my bed. But I'm always happier if I had hung out with people. Like I've come to learn that. And
Mm.
sometimes there are nights I feel like, oh, I just want to stay in. I think at this point, I almost immediately always force myself to go out because,
Mm.
because life is so short and the economic pressure will only increase with age. So you better start hanging out now before you really don't have the time to.
Mm.
Um, Okay, so for me, it's simple. What I would want to share with them is just that uh, sometimes I say the wrong thing because I sometimes speak very fast. So a lot of times I'm not really filtered. I may say things that are not intentional, but but you can just yeah, you could just say, "Oh, do you really think that? Do you really feel that way?" That kind of question for me. And if you ask me that, I would always certainly be like, "Oh, there's a better way for me to say it." Yeah. Right.
Hmm.
Um, tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time. And were we honest last time?
Isn't
We've already done.
it feels quite repetitive, these
Yeah,
questions though.
kind of. All right. Well, we'll just skip. Share an embarrassing moment in your life. Hmm. Oh, which one to choose from?
Hmm.
Uh, all right. An embarrassing moment of my life.
I mean, if you have a moment where you're nervous and embarrassed, but it works out, does that count? Or does it have to be like you fucked up and that's embarrassing kind of moment?
I think the latter. Just something really, really
Yeah.
messed up. For me, I had something embarrassing.
Oh, I got a good one. Yeah.
Okay, what?
Go
Why don't
for it,
you go
Jamie.
first? You go first.
No, no, you started. You started.
For me, well, I was trying to think, and now my mind is empty. I
Uh-huh.
can't think of one. So you go first.
Okay. Well, in that case, eh, the a really embarrassing moment for me, and I also can say why I feel embarrassed about it, is that on my first, second, third date with my partner, we went axe throwing, and I forgot my backpack at the location. So we walked all the way to the train station, which was about a good 10-15 minutes walk. Realized I forgot my backpack, walked all the way back to the location, got the backpack, walked all the way back to the train station, and realized I also left my phone behind too, but I completely didn't think about it.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
when I wanted to get the train ticket via the phone app, realized I don't have it with me. And I told her, you know what, it's fine. But she decided to walk with me as well, and walk all the way back again. And then this time she was like, "Are you sure you got everything this time?"
That's so adorable. It means
And
you were really enjoying the moment. That you were so enjoying the moment that even your phone couldn't distract you.
that's what I said. That's what I told her. Like I'm so focused, and my attention is so on you that I'm forgetting all this other stuff. But she was like, "No, no, 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 no. You can't do that."
Right.
But yeah, that was very embarrassing. And why was it embarrassing for me is because well, I showed her that I didn't have my shit in order, and it was not something. I just showed her like a very forgetful side of me, a very mistake prone side of me, and I know nobody's perfect, but I guess it was good to know like this is the genuine me, this is how I am. But at the
Aw.
start, you always kind of you do kind of want to show what your good aspects of you are. But you know, if I think about it, like I've been face checking since the start. Like I've been doing like a lot of very
What is
horrible
space checking?
decisions. Yeah, face checking. Face checking is like in an adventure game. You're supposed to peek. You're supposed to imagine that behind every door there's an enemy or a trap.
Mhm.
But and you're supposed to like peek into the door hole or like try to find out if it's safe first before you go there. And face checking is the term where you just check with your face. Yeah. So um I didn't do it the smart way. Let's say it like that. I just let myself be very vulnerable. Like I just laid it all on the ground. I don't know why I did it that way. But the hypothetical which I gave to my friend was that I passed them the gun and pointed to my head just to see if they would pull the trigger or not. Because I didn't want to waste my time. I wanted to see like this is the real me. Are you able to accept that?
Yeah.
Uh and she did, which was great. I mean, we still learning about each other. We're still trying to get used to each other. And this long distance thing, I'm taking it as a test for myself, to check myself as well, and as an opportunity to grow and improve myself, work on myself. Because I learned as well that by letting myself be vulnerable again, a lot of issues from the past which I've kept bottled up inside and shoved away are starting to resurface, and I have to deal with them, or I've been having to deal with them. Yeah.
All right. Dan?
It's going to sound silly. Can you repeat the question?
Share an
What is your most
embarrassing.
embarrassing
Yeah.
moment or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I kept trying to think of something, but nothing really came into my mind much. I guess it would be something from my childhood when I was really little. I think one time, I was with my parents. This is going to sound strange. In a casino when I was like
Mhm.
4 or something. And I was playing this game where you have to push in a coin and it drops on this platform and the platform keeps going forward
Oh,
and
I know
backwards.
those. Yeah.
And then you're supposed to time the coin so that it falls and pushes some other coins over that platform, and then you'll get them. But anyways, it doesn't really matter because I was having fun and I really wanted to go to the bathroom, but I kept like holding it in. And then at one point, I understood like I cannot hold it in anymore, and I just make a couple of steps in the direction of the bathroom and I pee myself.
Oh no.
And well, that was embarrassing. And then my mother, she took me to the bathroom, and then after and put me in one of the stalls. And then after some time, I realized it's a women's bathroom, and
Oh.
then I feel even more ashamed. And well, basically, she came back and gave me the clothes, and I was like, "Why am I in the women's bathroom?" And she tells me, "Well, I'm not going to go with you to the men's bathroom."
She has a point.
Yeah.
Hmm. I have something bathroom related as well. Um, it's gonna be a little gross, so warning to anybody who's eating. Okay, so there's gonna be some really nasty stuff. I was
Uh-oh.
12 and I was on a family trip in Sichuan, which is a part of China where the food is infamously spicy.
I
So
see. Yeah.
my palate was never y- adapted to spicy food, and then I went to I couldn't have any food with the tour group because everything was spicy. So I thought it would be nice to just have some Kentucky Fried Chicken since it's an American franchise.
Oh.
So the taste of the chicken should not differ too much. I went there and I specifically asked them in my heavy Taiwanese accent, "Do you have uh original flavored chicken?" So we don't say non-spicy. In Chinese, we say, by original flavored, we just mean non-spicy. But to them,
Yeah.
original flavor already has some spiciness built in. And then on top of that, you can get like the next level, which is the spicy version for locals. So I didn't know KFC adapted their menu to the local palate. I had one bite of the chicken and I was burning. Everything was burning in my mouth. I um I was chugging, I think, yeah, I was chugging like a vanilla ice cream in Coca-Cola. So I was taking one bite of the chicken and chugging Coca-Cola with vanilla ice cream. And as you can guess, it is very diarrhea inducing. At one point, there was no toilet because back then, this was a long time ago, China was not very developed. It was impossible to
Mhm.
find a public toilet. We went to like a very holy site, it's kind of like a Confucius. Um, yeah, it's like it's a travel. Oh, what's the word? Anyway, it's like a scenery. So
Destination.
yeah, and it's very pristine, right? And my
Mhm.
chubby little ass, I was struggling. I couldn't find a toilet, and I thought, okay, you know what? The last resort is to climb on top of. So in China, like in ancient China, you'll find these towers, right? Like these towers that were used for maybe guards or archers or something. So I climbed like I climbed 4 stairs up. And when I was a kid, I really loved rollerblading. So I had one of those shoes. I don't this is very millennial. So I had one of those shoes where you can kick out the wheels, right? And so I couldn't hold myself. I got to the top of the tower. I pulled down my trousers and then I just let it rip. I just let everything out. It was so much. It
Ah,
was completely liquid, and I was
Yikes.
trapped. And my I was caught with my pants down. I tried to stand up, and then I kicked one of the levers to release the wheels. Okay, and so two wheels came out. I slid. I lost my balance and I fell right into my own. Yeah. Oh
my
No.
God.
god. It was so gross. And then didn't know what to do. And then I think I was 11 or 12. Yeah, and I had to I pull my pants up and then I smelled disgusting. And so I went down the stairs and my poor mother had to clean everything for me at the hotel.
Ah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that was so embarrassing because on the way back, we were a tour group. We all had to be in the same bus. So I
God.
stank up the whole bus with my shitty trousers and my shitty
Oh.
wheels. And so after that, I was very traumatized. I no longer wear those stupid, stupid freaking shoes with wheels. They were fun at the airport, okay? But then yeah, when that happened, you had to quit.
Yeah.
All right.
My
There's no
God.
coming back from that.
Yeah, it was. Thank goodness I was a child. Can you imagine if that happened now? I will.
Being an adult. Oh
Yeah, I
God.
will never forget it. Oh my goodness.
You will commit seppuku.
I feel
Yeah.
like as I get older, these things don't feel as dramatic anymore. I think
Mm.
if something like that would happen to me as a teenager versus as now, I would probably say I would take it easier today.
I.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a bit. I just want to mention it, but I did have an unfortunate incident as well
Oh.
as an adult, but I just dealt with it. Um, Went commando and came home and washed up.
Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
But
If
yeah,
nobody found out, then it's really no big deal.
yeah. And just an advice for all you people out there: if you know you have the shits, like if you know it's not as dry and hard as it's supposed to be, if you think it's a fart, it's not a fart.
This happens to so many of us. Right. I wonder if that happens more to gay guys who take off like, because if the rear cavity is more relaxed, wouldn't that make it easier for stuff to? Anyway, um,
It's a very logical conclusion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. W- When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself?
Oh,
Not so long ago. Um,
No.
well, actually, you know what? Probably even earlier than that. Like whenever I watch some touching moment on a show or something, I can cry a little bit.
Ah, but
And
like,
you know, the
What
interesting
a
thing is,
bitch! No, I'm sorry.
you know, the interesting thing is, before I met my current partner, I never cried on movies or anything.
mm,
And after meeting her, I think pretty much from that moment, if I would see something touching, I would cry. And I don't know why exactly, but somehow she opened me up more, I guess, or something like that.
she made you a
Mm,
bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You're just more in touch with your feelings. That's good. I think. I
yeah.
think that's really good. I last cried last year, like a very severe, weeping, last year in January when my dog died, and it was like a very
Mm,
painful
Um,
death for him. I didn't think I would cry, but like I had to go there, pick up his, bloated body, um, put him onto a
Jesus.
truck, and I had to take him up the mountain, dig a hole. Which, by the way, I didn't know it's that much effort. So they're like these communal graveyards for pets that we can go to, but you have to do the digging yourself, and so
yeah.
I had to dig, and then once I put the body in, I had to shovel a bunch of dirt back, and I think I maimed his body as well. I think I
God dang.
yeah, because it's my first time.
My God.
Uh, but then
Yeah.
and then after that, like, I went to the gym straight away because I had to vent, and then I just and then people thought I was weird because I was doing deadlift while I was crying. And I think some of my like, you have these gym friends, right? Like these people that you don't know very well, but every time you go to the gym, you say hi to them. And I think they thought I was going so hard at the gym that I cried. They were like, "Whoa, that's
Hardcore.
yeah, hardcore, bro." Okay, Benny, Bernard.
Bernardo.
One moment. I need a moment. Sorry, I
Oh,
didn't want to interrupt.
If we talk about like when I cried, really cried,
yeah.
not so long ago we had a difficult conversation about our relationship. We're just trying to deal and sort out things, and that's the moment where I cried.
Mm. Did you do it in front of the partner or?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Mm. Oh my goodness. When I was being broken up with, I just remembered like being at a fondue restaurant and I was just crying. And then I was angry because my ex was also crying. And I was just like, "You're the one breaking up with me. Why would you cry? Isn't it relief for you?" So I went from crying to being really angry because I was like, I should be the one crying. You're taking my
Yeah, stop
moment.
crying.
Yeah. Uh, uh, tough times, tough times. Did she cry?
Yeah,
We
both.
have that thing. It's like a trigger. So whenever you talk to your partner about something, when they start crying, you can't help but feel like you're about to cry as well.
Yeah,
So I
but
wonder
for
if,
me it wasn't just a trigger. I just know we were talking about some complicated things, and they were hurtful, and I with my consciousness, I understand that I have to
hmm,
communicate, and I need to be honest, and we need to speak out about this stuff. But still, it's hard
what were you crying
because
because
you
you said
understand.
something hurtful in the interest of being
Yeah,
honest, or oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Did she say anything hurtful?
No.
Okay, that's the worst. Like, because I don't know. Do you feel like at the moment you could have worded it better, or?
Uh, well, I didn't think about it because I think the wording was fine. It's
Mhm.
just that it's something that is simply not nice to talk about, I guess. Put it like that.
Tough times. Benny, what happened? Should we move on without you?
No, no, no. I just got updated. on the current situation. Everything's fine. I just
Oh.
needed to be
Defense
attentive.
perimeter breached.
No, nothing like that. But
And
I
Bernard's like,
did
but I need
hear.
to finish my podcast. Grab a
No, but
gun, son.
I did hear. If you hear the screaming and the shooting and the explosions in the background, it's all good. We got it under control.
Oh my
No, no.
goodness.
But I did hear Dan's. Not completely. I joined in halfway, but I understood the
The overall gist of it.
the gist of it. Yeah.
What about you? When did you last cry?
Um,
Just now.
I would say in December. It wasn't. It was. I was just very frustrated at myself. Um, it's related to the letting myself be vulnerable again, and then all the insecurities and the uneasy. Like I just hated the frustration. I hated myself for feeling so insecure, and it really got to me, and I was annoyed, very annoyed at myself, and I was venting about it to um, a dear friend of mine. She wasn't there physically, but she was like I was sending a voice message, and I was I was bashing myself essentially, and I hated feeling so insecure. I hated feeling so anxious, and I hated that I was being like that. And and it was like and I started tearing up because I was so frustrated at myself.
Oh, been there.
But yeah, but I do tear up when I watch like sad movies as well. I noticed something which hits me a lot more recently
Yeah.
or lately or generally, is when it comes to do with family. I think it's also the my situation, because in the past I would see uh like the characters bonding on the screen. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's okay. But I think from all my experiences and all that, like I empathize a lot more regarding family bonding, and like I it it hits me in the corazon like deeper.
In La Corazon, huh? So, well, in that
Yeah.
case, you know, there's a Pixar film called Coco. You need to watch that.
I don't want to be depressed. Like if the film just happens to have that in it and it's tactfully done, because sometimes I feel like they overdo it in
No, no,
it.
no. This
But like if
film,
it's
trust me,
tactfully done,
it's beautifully done, and it's not like a very sad or it's the you don't cry because of the experiences of the protagonist, but you cry because there's an overall theme of paying homage to your relatives and the love that family has. You know that at times even so goes beyond death. It goes beyond, like, it extends beyond life and death. There's that legacy of love
mm,
that's passed down. But anyway, it's a great film. Okay.
I'll think about it. There's also, it reminds me of that one film, that it's an English comedian, and it's about like his wife passed away, and he's like being very mean about to everybody, and she's basically got some recordings before she passed, like telling him to like how he is gonna be and how he should work on himself or something.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
those films with premises like those, they tear me off.
Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't watched it, but yeah, I don't
right.
want to be sad. I want to
Mm.
enjoy the film.
Okay.
I don't want to be
maybe I'm
sad.
just yeah, maybe I'm just avoiding things which I know I need to confront within myself as well.
Um. Right. Next question. Tell your partner something.
All right.
Oh, we
Next.
wait, no, because it's already the 1 hour mark. We have 6 questions left. We have to I have to pick
Shit.
up the pace. When did you last? Sorry. Tell your partner something you like about them already. I feel like there's so many questions.
Again?
It's just complimenting each other. We can skip this.
I guess
Um,
it's to spark love.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes. You
is
Yeah.
do want to
so is
spark
the trick to
attraction
making
to each
someone fall
other.
in love with you just a bunch of compliments? Hmm. Okay.
I like the
Que-
way you smell. I like the way
question.
you dress.
Question
I like the way
30.
you smile.
Question 32. If is anything too serious to be joked about?
Maybe in the moment. After some time, I guess I could joke pretty much about anything. But that's, I guess, things that are directly related to me and not related to anyone else. Then I
Hmm.
would be comfortable. But I
Mm.
understand that some people are not as comfortable about joking some things from their past that maybe are traumatic or something. Or maybe I'm just blessed that I never had anything that would make me feel like I don't want to joke about it. But for
Hashtag
me, yes, I
blessed.
can't really think about. I can't really think of a thing that somebody can joke about me that would make me, mm, upset.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me, it depends on the context and who's making the joke and who's listening. Like,
If it's just with
Yeah, like
you, if it's just
like
with
if
you.
I just lost my arm, I wouldn't appreciate somebody joking about that. But
well,
Yeah.
after
if
some
you
time, if
lost your
somebody
left
would give me
arm,
a sweater with that the Cookie Man from Shrek, then I would laugh about it.
if
No,
you
but
lost
that's
your
funny.
left arm, and
Yeah,
I
okay, I'm
say
so
you're
sorry.
all right now because you're only doing things with your right arm.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Um.
that's the joke that I could joke about
but
in a
later.
couple of weeks, but not at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, as I was saying, like if my boss of a workplace is there, and then people are joking about how I could be potentially skipping work or like being lazy or taking advantage of the environment or something, then I find that very distasteful because even though it's a joke, you're still implying that there's a possibility. It's still like probably planting a seed of doubt in the superior's mind, and I hate that.
Mm.
I also don't like making jokes about what's the right word, infidelity, like cheating.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Those could be touchy.
Not because like I just don't want it to be like normalized. I don't think it's funny. um and I don't want it to be like, oh, you start to make jokes about it and then you start to develop that mindset where it's okay.
Hmm.
And then because your mindset turns into your actions at some point, and I just don't think it's cool. um I'm lucky that I never
Oh.
had a partner which to my knowledge cheated on me. uh and I never entertained the idea of being unfaithful. I just don't understand it as well. Like, why? If you're not getting something from your partner, talk to
Oh.
them about it. And if it's to the point where you can't find a compromise, then instead of going behind their back, like then confront them, say, hey, this need is not being satisfied. Like no pressure, but like maybe you need to find like a middle ground, or maybe you're not for each other, but don't don't hurt them by going behind their backs. It's like, what the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a cunt. Right.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, if it's just like personal, like a personal conversation between me and you in a private room, you can joke about everything. So long as your intention is to joke, as opposed to as opposed to insult or some other
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Otherwise, I don't really have a bottom line. Like, you can say some pretty grim and dark stuff to me. I'll find it funny. Um. Okay. Tell Wait, next question. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you regret most having not told someone? And why haven't you told them yet? Hmm.
You know what? I don't think I have anything.
Oh. Oh. Really?
Yeah, I keep bringing this up. I feel like maybe it's getting old, but when me and my partner had a crisis a couple of years ago, the one thing that really mm, the best thing that resolved from that is that I was finally completely honest with myself and her and everyone. Uh, and it was, yeah, it's great. I'm really happy that that happened. And because of that, I just really don't have any secrets left. Okay,
Wow.
next.
No, I'm really jealous. I think for me, if I had died, uh, I would most regret not having. I guess, huh? I don't really have anything. I feel like I said everything. Maybe something with my mum.
Mm,
Maybe I would regret feeling like that I didn't put it into words, into appreciating how much she's done for me and the family.
mm,
All right, Benny.
I don't. I don't think I'll be able to, um, because of my situation. And if I were to die tonight, I don't think the room. I will have that opportunity to be able to speak with everybody I want to speak with
Hmm.
one final time. But with the time I have left, I think I would write letters to those who I would like to address. Definitely my partner and my family first,
Hmm.
and you guys as well. And I what in the letter, definitely I would thank them for being in my life, and
Aw.
thank them for everything that they've done for me. Um, for each individual, I like to be more specific with what exactly I would they've done, and what I remember, and what I appreciate them for. And but one thing at the end of all of these messages, I would definitely say that I'm sorry. I have to leave first. I hope it won't come too much as too much of a shock. I hope that they understand that this is something that would have happened sooner or later. It's just I'm very sorry to my parents that they would have to experience the pain of losing their child. And if there is something that they need to do in order to help them uh, accept the situation easier, be it uh, making a grave for me, even though I don't need or want one, or keeping my ashes if they need it, then they can do whatever they want with my remains. But I hope that they will also be able to let go and move on in their lives.
Oh, very practical. Um, okay. Yeah, we should have,
indeed.
we should have an episode where we talk about like our legacy. So if you were to, so let's say if Dan were to die, how would me and Bernard, like, how would we move on and what would we do to remember him by?
I'm expecting a statue.
Which ironically I can make. I actually learned about, like, I didn't know, but the sculpting software that I use is also used for making statues, and you need to like build them in pieces, in construction pieces. And
Mm.
then you can load it into like a CAD file or something, which is insane. I didn't know that because they're like these really cool materials that you can use that would make like a statue very cheap and that you can basically print it out. Um,
Mhm.
Next question. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
My pack of money.
um, it'd be more funny if you were Jewish. You'd be like, "Oh, your pouch of gold." For
Yeah, I
me,
think
I
that
would make a mad dash. In fact, I would probably save my PC before my loved ones. There's gonna be wait, listen. There's gonna be a tariff coming. Okay, it's gonna be so difficult to get a graphics card, and I have a nice one, so I'll risk my life for it. No, but in all seriousness, I think I would make a dash for things that have memories, like an album or something. Like,
Mm.
so it would be my flash drive containing all my pictures and stuff.
Which conveniently is plugged into my computer.
Exactly, which is it's encased in my PC for safety.
Yeah.
Benny,
If the two things are near to each other, can I grab them both?
No.
has to be one item.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Like if they're physically right next to each other, like I don't have to go to a separate room. I know where it is.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
go get it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Um, my laptop because of all the necessary uh,
Thanks.
administrative documents I have on it, and my external hard drive, which I have all my pictures on it,
Mm,
which do include pictures of you both, and when, for example, my trip when I came to visit you guys and stuff, and yeah, so admin work and also memory stuff.
aw.
I don't think I have anything valuable around which I care too much about. But
Hmm.
stuff are just stuff.
Right. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
I
Uh,
don't think you can rank it like that. For me, anyway. Sorry.
if I have to choose one, I
Mm.
would say you who's like I'm very practical about this. So if my parents were to perish, I feel like they had a nice life. Look, they grew up in they grew up in a during the economic boom in Taiwan. They made a very good living for themselves. They had a good life, honestly. They we didn't lack anything. But I would be really sad if my sister were to die because she's so young, and there's still so much ahead of her. So I would be most disturbed by my sister
Mm.
dying.
I think I have to say the same, but that would be more because of being tied to what I said earlier. If I had to die first,
Mm-hmm.
because my parents would have to experience the pain of losing their child before them, and
Hmm. Okay.
and yeah, I think it will suck if anybody passes, um, but
And
uh, but my parents are old, and it's just a matter of time. As morbid as it sounds to say it like that,
yeah.
it doesn't make it any easier.
Hmm.
And like just thinking about it is already oof, you know. But
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm gonna get to
my
know
dad
them.
will probably go first, then my mom, and then probably me first, then my sister last. But if my sis were to go first, then I think it will be a lot harder
Mm-hmm.
for all of us.
Don't worry, I'll keep your dad mentally aroused. That sounded funny. But
That
yeah,
sounded wrong.
well, if it keeps him
Are you
going.
trying to seduce my dad, Jamie?
Would you
Hey,
be
hey, hey,
okay?
Jamie.
Would you be okay if a friend seduced your dad if it keeps him going?
No, my mom's still around. How do you think she would feel?
Oh, of course. No, no, no. Well, I guess the better question is if you know, like, yeah, this is a fun. It's a really cool hypothetical. Like, if one of your parents had lost their partner, like, you know, you lost your mom, so you know, but they're very deep in love with each other, and now they're near the end of their lives, and they don't really have anyone else to live for, and so it's tough. Okay, this is the final.
So it's tough. Quick move.
Yeah, it could be another episode. Final question. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how they might handle it. Then ask your partner to reflect on how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen.
What? Okay, this is layered.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very complicated. Well, let's just do the first part. Like, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how they might handle it. So let's just do this one because I feel like the second part would come naturally.
Ah,
All right. Should I start with my problem?
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm about to leave everything kind of behind and to move to the UK to start anew. I will be looking for a job, even though that's not really my main goal anyway, but it would just give me that safety. I have enough to get by for a while, for like maybe for like a half a year. If I,
A week.
if I spend my money frugally, if I'm really like, if I'm really smart with my money, I could, hang on for even longer. Um, but I'm moving to this new place, and my goal is to eventually be self-sufficient. Just having my own channel where maybe I could get commission, where I could just work for myself. Because frankly, the industry, as far as I know, the industry that I have dreamt about working in is crumbling before my eyes. Like, it's VFX studios are shutting down everywhere. Entertainment in general is suffering. AAA games are losing to indie games, and AAA films are, well, films are running into strikes and whatnot. So it's a very grim look. And even if I do get a job, it's kind of like you get overworked so much because working as a digital artist, you're basically a laborer without labor rights protection as somebody who, let's say, mines coal. You're basically stuck in the office that sometimes you just need to labor for like 12 to 14 hours a day. So it's not exactly a life that I would aspire to, given the amount of money that the job pays out. So I guess, how would you guys approach this if you were me? Would you dedicate, 80% of the time on just working on my online presence, my channel, my artwork, and then just pushing stuff out, trying to gain uh, fame and popularity, I guess? Or would you, find focus on getting a job, doesn't matter what, like, you just get a job to be stable? Like, what would you do? Because I honestly, I'm so clueless. I personally
Well,
want to focus personally. Ideally, I would love to have like a part-time job that I could work from home and then just have more time to work my own stuff.
Well, I
ideally,
think that's what you should do. You should do what you feel like you want to do, because
Mm.
I feel like I'm the most happy when I can pursue my own ideas and goals.
Mm, I see.
yeah, I would say
And
ideally you. Yep, Dan.
yeah, and I'll just add that I guess we all kind of know this, but that you should pursue your goals. But I guess what's stopping us is the commitment, that you feel like if you're doing that, you're giving up some things.
Yeah.
But I feel like that you do what you have to do, and the second part is that you can usually you can always return to a regular job and do something. And Like basically, do what you feel like you want to do, and
Mm,
as you're going on that path, you will understand, is this what you really like, or maybe there's a part that you want to adjust, or maybe
yeah.
you don't like it completely,
Okay.
and that would be fine. You can all if you committed to something, you committed from the point of view you had at that moment and all the information and feelings you had. But if you find out that it's not what you wanted, it's also perfectly fine. I feel like people are sometimes too afraid to
Fail.
find out about that, and maybe
Yeah.
that's why
I don't know
they're
why I get
not
so
sure.
I don't know why I get so confused because I if I think about it, I can really only do something that I enjoy, I guess, because of all the different jobs that I've taken, even ones that paid, higher than average, well, for my country at least, I was just so miserable and I just felt like, I had even back then when I had like a stable income, I was able to get by and buy everything that I needed. But my goodness, like it's just 15 hours out of a day is just gone. Like I just don't have it, and I feel like I don't have autonomy, and I was just so depressed. And being in Asia, I was ashamed to admit to anybody that I was depressed. And then
I
just
think
keep
it's just
grinding.
the opportunity cost which you perceive that you're having to pay.
Mm, what do you mean by that?
Well, because it's always easier to look at what you're not having, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, you think you're losing time on this, or you think you're losing an opportunity on that. Um, and that's giving you that anxiety of is my time being well spent?
Yeah,
Hmm. At the last most important job that I had was with a relatively big company. So if anybody if any listener is a digital artist, they would know this company. They made one of the most famous tools, especially in the 2010s. And even though I had all that prestige and that status of I'm I have to like I when I go to work, I had to take a golf cart, and I would have a badge and I have to scan myself in like I'm like a proper tech worker. That felt really nice. But the long hours didn't.
Hmm.
Okay. Right. What about you guys?
I guess the question would be, was it worth it?
No.
Hmm.
I don't think so.
Were you happy? Did you enjoy it?
No, I was really unhappy. I
Hmm.
was
Then I
Yeah.
think you got your answer.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, and personally, my opinion to your question is optimally you get a part-time job which lets you work from home.
Mhm.
Practically, you need to do anything you are satisfied with just enough so you can tide yourself over
Mhm.
while leaving enough free time for you to be able to rest well and work on your personal projects so you can push things out.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, um, you don't need to, you just need to break even because anything else I'll help you with
Aw.
financially.
Aw, hugs. But to be
Uh,
honest though, like thankfully I'm staying with, I have this arrangement with your family, so the overhead cost is extremely low compared to what I would have paid. So that's the good thing, right? Like so the pressure
mm,
of how much money I must earn is a lot lower already. So I think that makes things easier.
yeah,
yeah.
Mm. All
it's
right.
the less pressure on you to like, oh, I gotta pay this or I gotta do earn that much. And
I'm gonna become your parents' third
I gotta
child.
work.
I'm gonna.
yeah, I mean, at some point they'll essentially start treating you like that, and the only thing is if you're able to be comfortable with that.
Oh, totally am. I'm really good with parents. If there's one thing I have practiced my whole life, it's pleasing adults. Okay. Right. Anyway.
That didn't sound wrong at all.
Oh my.
Okay. You. So your turn. Share a personal problem.
Who, me or Dan?
Anyone. We can start with you then.
Didn't I share already?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, a lot of these questions are similar, Dan.
Yeah.
It might feel
Mm,
like we are covering the same topics, but
Yeah,
actually,
what we talked about were more like feelings wise. And I think this question would be more. It could be feelings as well, but this is more like
but I think it's more like practical. Like
and it's
this is what I'm
pertinent.
struggling with right now.
Yeah, right now, like it's pertinent to now.
I guess my struggle is sometimes I feel like I'm not sure what I want in life and where I'm heading, and
You feel
I
like it's a lot.
guess I am not even sure if I want anything at times.
Hmm.
But I don't know where to start with asking for help for this.
Can you
I guess
clarify
I would. It
what
would
do
be
you
happy.
what do you mean by like not knowing what you want?
I think.
At
Correct me
one,
if I'm wrong, Dan. But
yeah,
I think you mean like you feel a lack of direction, a lack of passion.
I feel some at times. I feel a lack of passion or desire to do anything. At some points, I'm like, give me a lot of money, and I I I I still don't know what I would spend it on.
You mean like
It feels to me.
a lack of purpose in life?
Yeah,
Mm.
something like that.
It
But
sounds to
I'm
me.
talking about it, but I guess it's maybe getting better. So
Huh.
Hmm,
Okay. I mean, Benny, do you want to start first?
it sounds to me like burnout, if you ask me.
I was burned out. When I left my previous job, I was completely burned out. The
Mm.
only thing that helped me was money, and then at one point, even that was not enough. I was like, oh, I don't care anymore. Like I just want to
Hmm,
quit. I don't care what happens.
hmm,
Hmm.
I don't want to spend any more time doing it. Like even a day felt like, oh my god.
Hmm.
connection.
All right. I feel like you. So after being broken up with, I was pretty lost as well because I was a diehard romantic, kind of like live my life for the passion. And I had to confront. There's this one question that I read somewhere. It was very interesting. It's something that we kind of stop asking ourselves as we grow up, and it's asking you, what would you like to change about the world? You know, if hypothetically, if you can change something about the world, what's something that you want to, yeah, what would you say right off the top of your head? What's something you would like to change about the world?
I wish it would be easier for regular people to um, keep their power in keep their power.
It sounds
When you
like
say power, what do you mean power?
I
Like
mean,
livelihoods, like way of life, or
like their way of life, their control on the environment they're living around, uh, their control over their government or the companies around them. I wish people it would be easier for regular people to keep their power and like
yeah.
I guess their political power in a way or economical power, so that they have more control of what is
y-
going on around them,
you mean kind
government,
of like going
company
back
wise.
to like the era of the middle class, right? Like when when a country has more middle class people, then it's closer to democracy in the sense that you don't have that many feudalist style mega billionaires that could influence the government, where
Yeah,
power is far more decentralized.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, that's one way to put it.
It sounds like you need to get into politics. That's something I would love to change
Who
as
knows?
well. You know, like I have something similar in the sense that I hope that no matter what, that we could approach uh the level of kind of like a social bottom line closer to some of the Scandinavian countries in the 2000s and 2010s, where
Mhm.
if you lost all your job, if you're heavily in debt, like your government has some contingencies for you where you have a social safety net, including healthcare. So yeah, so the
Yeah.
idea is that you ask yourself what you would like to change, and then from there you kind of get inspired for your purpose, so you can find the sense of direction in life in that. So how do you think, like, if you were to think of something, like, what can you do to even if it's just like an incremental change, even if it just help you achieve that goal just in a tiny bit, what would you do?
I feel
How can
like
you be a politician?
I feel
That
like
would be a great politician. Honestly, it's insane.
oh, well, thank you. But answering your question, I feel like I want to go from the path of not starting from I feel like the regular direction where people try to create these laws and limits and regulations. I feel
Mhm.
like they always get people can get around them. They don't really fix stuff even though they aim to do it. So my approach would be from the other direction. I feel like this is something that is the most effective way to deal with it would be through education and upbringing.
Mhm, yeah.
When people themselves are smart enough and ethical enough to, whenever they come to this position where they can influence this, they make the right decisions. I feel
Cultured.
like that's the way we should do it. It should be we should cultivate it in the culture, and
Yeah.
people should be well educated.
Yeah,
People should be
we could also like reverse the premise where we see that it's because of this capitalistic upbringing that a lot of us had to go through, where it's all about competition, excel, individual success, make mad dosh, make tons of money, get bitches, and then get a nice car,
but
succeed.
capitalism itself is a tool, and it's way to motivate people.
It's the best
But
tool we've ever had.
but if but how this tool is used or how it affects society also really depends on the culture and upbringing and education of people. Because I think about, for example, the Heinz ketchup company. Back then, when that company was just being created, ketchup was this sauce that was pretty horrible. It was usually made out of messed up things and it was really bad for you. But because the creator of Heinz was, I forgot which religion he was, but in this religion, it's really important that what you do in life is um, beneficial for everyone, and you shouldn't, take too much for yourself.
Hmm.
Um, and because of this, really strong core in the founder of the company, they used really good ingredients. Everything was very safe. At the same time, this was tasty, and it wasn't too expensive because
No, we're not
um,
being promoted by Heinz, by the way,
Yeah,
listeners.
not sponsored. What a
it's
weird
ketchup.
sponsor.
But yeah, you see, he was in the capitalist system. He was in a system that was older. I mean, like it was, it still was developing, and there was far less regulations.
But he had
Uh,
morals and he had
yeah,
integrity.
yeah. I feel like this is very important because this way you don't have to govern anything. It just happens on its own because that's what people want to do because they strive to do it.
Yeah.
I also think about Japan. In Japan, I feel like they maybe sometimes they're overboard with this, but their culture and the way they bring people. I feel like Japanese workers are the workers that I'm imagining, um, like that already had this transformation of education and culture, where
Where
You
they
know
want
what's
you
to
so
know
crazy
overwork
they're very
themselves
is
and
that
kill themselves at the
yes,
end of
no
the
no
day.
the
no,
Japanese
like
culture is
they're very
very
honest.
pervasive, and
They're
it's
honest.
one of the sturdiest cultures that I feel like that just kind of just persists. But
Yes,
the
but let Dan finish,
oh
please.
yeah,
Yeah, so they are they do their job well, and I feel like if you don't control them, they will still do it well and honest. They
Mm,
will do it well and honest, and they will be mm,
loyal.
not loyal, but not just loyal. They will be like you, Bernard. I feel like you are.
They have
Uh,
integrity,
or
yeah, exactly.
principled,
but no, it's actually
You
disciplined.
know, they won't steal from the cash register, even if
mhm.
nobody can tell that somebody stole something from it.
I was talking to an American friend here, and he was he's from Detroit, and then he was shocked. He was just like, because on the streets we have stores where the items that they're going to sell are kind of just like on outside. You know how like there's a
Mhm.
if there's a street you can walk down, you'll see a bunch of shops just leaving their stuff outside that you can just pick up and buy. And he was just like,
Mm.
Yeah.
"What?
And then
How hasn't anyone stolen anything yet?" You know.
yeah,
But
and
And this
then
is the
there's
things
usually
that
a
happen when
money
you have
box
good
nearby.
upbringing.
mm,
Because
Yeah.
people, you don't have to govern so much. You don't have to control so much. You don't need that much police. You need that much cameras. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Just
but
I feel like Switzerland is stuck in the past where people are honest and they have principle, but statistically crime rates has been on the rise.
damn foreigners.
Ah, I don't want to go there. But the problem is like the borders are not controlled. So there's nothing stopping
There's no wall.
anybody. Yeah, there's no controls, there's no checks. You can just come over, like stab a few people, steal a few shit, go back over the border, and you're good. You can do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, I was gonna say that
And I'm not making that shit up, man. I'm not making that
really,
shit up.
wow,
Yeah,
intense. I feel
it's
like
crazy.
And again, it's all the problems are coming from people that don't have this upbringing. They're shit, and we
They're
have to
not
deal with them.
integrated. Yeah.
but then if I could kind of refute is that we saw this system just worked very well in the golden age of of capitalism, where so through global trade so many countries are getting wealthier and the people's bottom line was going up, right? People are generally safe, people are generally fine, people can generally have kids. You only needed one income, and when people are overall happy and satisfied with their lives, then all manners of like in all aspects the societies would just be safer, and political landscape would be more honest. Less people are outraged about how sad their lives are. It's what we see now, where people it's a lot easier to manipulate desperate people,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of like directly against the people in the interest of the people in power. It's against their interest if the if your subjects have power. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, keep them stupid. They're easier to manipulate.
yeah, it's a lot easier to govern a country if they're all desperate and angry, and you can just blame immigrants and change virtually nothing about the country. And
Yeah.
and so I feel like, yeah, culture is it that's something I feel like that'll be the easiest to change, because if you think about it now, it would take another giant to take down a giant. All revolutions that have ever happened in the past, it was never like the proletariat uprising. Even the peasants, for peasants to take down kings and queens, they needed wealthy patrons behind them. So
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like Dan's idea would be the best. If you could have culture, morality, social adhesion, the social glue that holds people together to combat this. And by the way, the word you were looking for Japan is kodawari, which is a
Ah, yes, I
the
was looking for that word, which,
yeah.
but it was never in my head from the start.
Kudawari.
All right, Benny,
Emiyaru.
Benny.
Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. Mm,
I think Jimmy's asking for your take on this question.
yeah. Um. See, the thing is, my current issues are things which I'm already working on right now. I just I just need time to work on it.
What would it be?
Hmm.
But I already mentioned it. It's my anxieties, my insecurities.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's mostly internal. Um External issues, I think I'm fine. I have a plan of where I want to be, how things might look for the next 5 years with contingency A and contingency B, and also possibly less optimal contingency C. But yeah, my most of my issues are now just internal.
That's
Hmm.
good. I'm
That's
on
what.
that's good. I'm on contingency null. Like I have none. I just live day to day.
No, you're trusting me to catch you when you fall, and I'll be there. Maybe not physically, but I'll be there.
It's kind of crazy. You're the closest thing I
Nice.
have to a daddy.
Sugar daddy.
All right, but well, Benny,
Jesus.
insecurity
Mm.
internally, you feel like that's a problem that still plagues you every now and then, because I have noticed that from time to time, uh, you would beat yourself down, that you feel like that you're frustrated at your own failures, that your own perceived failures, I should say, and like
I'm my harshest critic.
do you fall
It
inside? Do you fall
hurts.
into like a loop of self criticism?
No, usually I get frustrated and then I try to identify where these feelings come from. Um, Sometimes I'm successful with identifying it.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it needs more time. But usually when I'm able to identify it, it helps with the process of accepting and moving on or letting go. Um, Sometimes I know what's the issue, but it's still I still need time to accept and or let go,
Uh-huh.
um, and just be okay with it.
I feel
Just
like
take it as a learning. Huh?
oh, sorry, you go on.
Yeah, just take it as something to learn from and not let it define me as who I am as a person, and just
Yeah.
be able to just move on from it. You know.
I feel that with age, I a lot of times I think all of us experience what you go through, and we um I feel that there is still this kind of like masculine thought that sometimes that hits me, where oh, you need to be a real man to sort this out yourself,
Mhm.
um but that almost never worked for me. What I
Mm.
think in experience have always worked for me is just consulting a bunch of different people, different friends, close friends, distant friends, doesn't matter. Sometimes it's even good to consult a complete stranger. That's something I did. I went to a museum in London. I just said some. I just asked a stranger. I just said, "Hey, we don't know each other. Why don't we say something crazy?" Because I was like an event going on at the at the museum, and it just said, "Yeah, confess something to a complete stranger and ask them what they think." And it's crazy effective because it's the only best way to combat your own critic is other critics, and some people can see you in ways that you don't see yourself. So
Mm.
yeah, if I were you, I just reach out even more to a bunch of different people.
You see, I did. I did. I had a
Mm.
great conversation with my friend and my new deputy,
Mm.
and I really appreciate them. They're very insightful, and I just need to work on it. I've been shown the road. Now I have to walk it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
So walk you shall. All
And
right.
walk, I will.
Okay, wow,
Walk.
congrats. We have finished all 36 questions. Uh
Yeah.
It only
Congratulations.
took us like if we
3
count how
episodes.
many. Yeah, if we count the total amount of time we had to do this, that's like at least 4 hours.
yeah. Oh, we went on for 2 hours today.
Oopsie.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
We did.
yes, in 2 hours.
I mean, we could.
Insane.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I had an idea that we could kind of break it down, but you know what? This is for all the truckers and the drivers who need to hit the road and drive for 2 hours and just want something to listen to. The lifeblood of logistics.
You know,
People at their job sites who are working night shift, and the security guys who just need something to play in the background.
you
Yeah.
see that's so
Yeah,
optimistic. I
this is
love
for
that
all of
thought.
them.
Because for me, all I know is that most of our our podcast would be most consumed by a large language model somebody is developing that's crawling through Spotify and YouTube for all the audio files in especially podcast where they can learn from us. So I feel like our biggest audience is actually LLMs.
Oh,
Researchers.
interesting
Yeah.
thought.
All right. Can you imagine like a student in the future uses ChatGPT to write an answer and then one of our responses came up? That would be so messed up.
Not sure if that's the answer they would like, but
Mm.
why not?
Oh, all right.
Very kinky answer on average.
Uh, After the 36 questions, I feel like I don't feel any more particular in love or not in love. I feel like it's kind of like a gimmick. I feel like some questions are very cool, very nice to answer, but there's also some questions that are just glazing each other. You're just kind of like complimenting.
Yeah, I think
Right.
the goal of this is to try to figure out like how that your conversation partner works and thinks, and basically just for you to see, is this person compatible with me? Like, are their beliefs in line with my beliefs? Because I think that's really important if you're looking for your partner to have the same um, principles, what you're
Mhm.
both looking for, uh, and because like love is not enough, you know. You got to have the same principles. You got to have the same plan on how you on your finances. Like, are you a spender? Are they spender? Are you a saver and they're a spender? That could cause like stress, financial stress to one person or another. Like, it sounds so petty, maybe, but you can't just rely on passion. You can't just rely on, oh yeah, we'll just make up and kiss and it'll be fine. No, it's not. It All these things matter. If you really want something long term, and if you really want it to work out, you got to talk about all these things.
It's basically
And
a
I
full-time
think the
job.
purpose of these questions is to figure that out.
True.
Yeah.
Touche. All right. I guess that's it for today, then, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to check us out on Spotify as well. Leave a like and subscribe. And thank you all. Goodbye.
Thank
Have a
you,
good day,
everyone.
guys.